just about every clamp I own, or every clamp I could find. I got the corners of each board, and then I got some tubing, heavy duty tubing, and C-clamped it across the middle, keeping these middles down. Here I had a piece of plywood, nice clean edge on it, nice and tight. Okay, so that's how I'll leave it set for, well, tomorrow's Friday, and I got picked for career day. So Stephen and I are going to go to my grandson's school tomorrow and go over what we do, our life as a couple of concrete guys. So we put together some things. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of videoing there, so come on along with us and watch us talk to some students. It should be a lot of fun. I did it about 2 years ago. Wasn't able to make it last year, or maybe they didn't want me back. Nobody got hurt. A couple kids got a little dirty, but that's what kids do, right? That's okay. So tomorrow morning, heading to school. Okay, I just spent the last 45 minutes up here getting ready for tomorrow. Like I mentioned, I'm career day. So I have a speech prepared, just a 2-minute speech of how I have been in business 40 years, how I went into business, blah, blah, blah. I'll get through that real quick. And then a little bit about the history of concrete. Did you know that concrete is the most widely used building product in the world? So it's kind of neat to be a part of that. I made these concrete samples. I had to plug the camera back in. It's the end of the day, the camera's dead. So I'm going to let the kids break these. There's fiber mesh in that, but they'll very easily be able to break those. One of them has rebar in it. So I'll give that to the tough guy in the class and see if he can break that. So we'll talk about the different strengths of concrete: compression, tensile, flexural. We'll just touch on that a little bit. They probably know more than I do, but how about we'll talk about endothermic, how it generates heat within. I think they'll find that kind of neat. Secondly, or I guess finally, I only have 18 minutes. I'm not sure if that's too much time or not enough time, you know. Once we get going, the bell will ring and we'll be done. I'm going to put sand in these trays and cover them up with plastic and let the kids practice stamping. I got wood plank floppies, I got a slate floppy, and then I brought our wheels that we use all the time. So I think we'll have fun with that, and I'm going to put a sand cement mixture in there, and hopefully they can see an impression and the possibilities you can do with concrete. And I also brought some screw guns. I thought they'd like to do that rather than nails. We pretty much all we use now are these screws, and it's nice when you have to take them apart. And I thought we could maybe do a little race. I have a block so we don't screw it into a desk, but maybe they could race putting screws in and out. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll take in our laser and I'll take in our level and show them different ways to level things. Okay. I'm not going to get any sleep tonight. Oh, that's good. I have to lock it. Where's my phone? I think it's in there. Okay, we got a cart. We are ready to head into the building. Grab yourself a t-shirt for helping. Here's our workstation, concrete breaking station, screw gun station. The kids are doing great. The principal came in and asked me not to video any of the kids, so I better just leave the camera off. I'm having a great time. We're on round 3. I already got 2 done. I have my whiteboard going right there, and nice little presentation. Here we go. 3rd class is coming in. Okay, there it is. All of our broken concrete. I think career day was a success. I don't know how much I touched on this. I reached out to the principal if I could video in the classroom, and he said, yeah, you can video, just don't show any of the kids. Didn't want to risk it, so just got that one little clip. The kids, I think the most successful part of my presentation, they really enjoyed breaking the logs of concrete. So a lot of the kids were able to just snap it with their hands. It broke real easy. Then that led into compression strength, tensile strength, different reinforcements in concrete. Here's the one I had the rebar in, and the one little edge broke off it, but nobody was able to break this. So this is like knowledge, right? The reinforcement is like the young kids' minds. The more knowledge in there, the more reinforcement they have, and the stronger their careers will be. So I wanted to touch on that a little bit. I don't know if it sunk in or not, but I thought it was a good approach. We did the stamping of the sand in these boxes. Made a huge mess in the room, and we swept it up pretty good. So to the custodians, I apologize. Room 207, you may want to set aside a little bit of time to do some more cleanup. We went over the different ways I level. The 4-foot level. Did I leave it in the room? I have to go back to school and grab my level. Oh my gosh, that was a $100 level. So the level with the lasers and so forth. And then we did the different stamping, the wheels in the sand. So all in all, we had a great time. 18 minutes went by very fast in the classroom. Could have used a little bit more time. Well, it was fun. So back to the shop. Let's keep going. Career day all done behind me. Back up to the shop. I can start taking my clamps off. I'll just do one at a time. I used 2 bottles of glue plus, well, maybe 2 and a partial bottle of glue holding these down. And what I just did before I turned the camera on, I went around the perimeter with a staple gun. Oh, why didn't I film that? I don't know. Here it is. Where did I set it? In the garbage can. So I have a staple gun, and I just went around the perimeter and shot staples in. Now those will be covered up by epoxy, and I don't think it's going to curl anymore, but why not staple the edges? I did about every 4 or 5 inches all the way around the boards. Now whenever I'm moving it to my epoxy area, of course we don't want anything to move and let loose. So like I was saying, I'll take the braces off, and as I'm doing this, I'm just watching, making sure I have that on there tight, making sure nothing moves. Okay. All right, so I'll get these all off and show you my next step. There you go. Okay, I ran around the perimeter with the belt sander, truing everything up. Now I need a way to stop the epoxy from flowing over. I've seen guys put tape here, but I came up with this idea. I cut these real thin 1/8 inch strips of wood, the thickness of my door. Now I can glue these right there. Now I have a a stopper there for the epoxy. And this will be against the floor or against the ceiling. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those in place, as well as a couple of staples. Maybe I can do a little video before my phone starts ringing. Every time I go to video, I gotta shut it off, answer the phone. Okay. Just some wood glue brushed on. And I really like this just towel bond glue. If you try and peel this off, it'll actually pull the grain out of the wood before the glue area gives way. So just put that in, line this up. Now I cut this one flush. You're going to see this edge, so I didn't want to see this. I want this piece to run past top to bottom. I'm making it flush on the bottom side. That way if my epoxy goes over, this is a little bit higher, and of course I can belt sand this down in seconds. So right there, I like that. I like that. Feels nice and straight the whole way. Slight angle. Now that way it doesn't blow right through the wood. You can turn it, go cross grain. Nice and tight, mainly so you don't see a gap there. By the time you get done sanding and lacquering this with a varnish, that'll all get filled in. Probably too many staples, but I don't want that coming off. Like I said earlier, slight angle. You can see how it stays flush, or it doesn't blow right through that skinny material. All right, let's get the other side done. Nope, there it is. Austin set it back here with my laser grade stick. So I scanned the classroom really good. I didn't think I left anything back there. Glad I don't have to go back to school and say, hey, I forgot my level. And repeat. Flush and flush. And flush. Okay. Okay, now on this, I'm just going to leave that stick up. Hopefully you can see it ever so slightly, and then I can belt sand that down to a perfect fit. Right about there. That'll give me plenty to work with, and you can see that's going to sand off in seconds. Working it down. Okay. Quick pencil mark, and again, you can see I'm a little bit long. Let's get that cut. Okay, same over here. What I do want to, reason I'm filming this, not to just be repetitive, I cut this about 1/8 of an inch. I cut these sides 1/4 of an inch. You're going to see this in the end, so I want to go around this with a belt sander and clean that up. And just wanted to end it with some wood here, and I think that's going to look real nice going in and meeting up here. So that'll blend, and you really won't even notice that seam there. I'm going to give this a real quick light sanding and move into my casting area and clamp this back down. We'll get it perfectly level, nice even plane from side to side and front to back. Okay, one last thing I'm going to do today. I want to caulk underneath here. Based on what I did on my sample over there, the epoxy obviously flows underneath there, and what a waste of epoxy. As well as now you constantly get air bubbles coming out from underneath there, and as the top crusts over, now you have an air bubble coming up. So you could probably use a number of things, caulking, some sort of sealant. I'm using liquid nail and just sealing that up. As well as liquid nail will help hold these boards together. Just a nice bead right around there. Making sure I get all the way in there and seal that up. Because the smallest of holes, that epoxy will find it, and away it goes. Now, if you're using clear epoxy, you would want to use something else. We're using black epoxy, so you'll never see it underneath here. Okay, as well as right across here. Now I'll get a putty knife and go ahead and take care of that. I have lunch plans, so I'm trying to get this done and go eat some lunch. One tube. Making sure it's all sealed up, forcing it underneath that wood. See a little hole? I don't know if you got that before it was there. Okay. Find some paper towels. Okay, one last look at it. I took my finger and just ran it into the corners. That way I'm sealed all the way up to the top. All through here. Now I have a bed that's completely sealed, as well as this knot hole. I could see my plywood through this knot hole, so I filled it up just shy of the top, about 1/4 of an inch. Now I'll epoxy that. I don't see through this knot hole. So I'm going to fill up that knot. Any of these holes, I'm going to get a little bit in there, I think. I don't know. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 cavities all sealed up and ready to go. Hey, great news. I just got an email. Best Buy was able to open up that hard drive that was damaged. We have our best work heading your way. We did this turnaround for a house, for their driveway turnaround area in front of the garage doors. Wait until you see what we've done there. I'm very proud of us, proud of the guys. It is our best work ever. Do not miss it. It'll be coming up probably in about 2 weeks. This is tomorrow morning's project, lunchtime.